Skarloey Railway is one of the most beautiful parts on the island of Sodor. There are tons of mountains, hills, beautiful trees, and flowers. The engine Skarloey was named after the railway, which is Sodor for lake in the woods. His brother Rene's name means divided waterfall. What's special about the Skarloey Railway is that all the engines are smaller in size compared to the rest of the engines on Sodor, and they even have their own smaller sized track. All of the engines on the Skarloey Railway are proud of how small they are, and they think it makes them really special. Sometimes, though, the narrow gauge engines get jealous of the standard gauge engines for how big they are, which sometimes causes trouble, and that is exactly what happened to Duncan. Duncan was having a rough day, so he started to complain. "You know, I wish I was big like those other engines sometimes," said Duncan. "I feel so minuscule compared to them." Peter Sam thought Duncan was being silly. Being small has many benefits, though. You can get into tighter areas, but maybe that's hard for you because of the size of your funnel. Duncan was cross with Peter Sam. He liked his tall funnel. "How dare you say something like that? You're going to regret those words that you've said." Later, the thin controller came to see Duncan when Peter Sam had left. "You need to take some trucks to the quarry. They're full of building supplies for the workmen." "Yes, sir," said Duncan. On his way there, he had to cross a bridge, but the brake van at the end of his train began tipping. When Duncan noticed, he panicked. "Help!" He tried to move forward, but it was too late. Luckily, his driver and firemen were not hurt, as they jumped out of Duncan before he toppled off the bridge. Unfortunately for Duncan, he had landed on the express line, and then he heard a whistle. Gordon saw Duncan. He slammed on his brakes, but it was too late. Gordon's buffers were crooked, and he was cross. "You stupid engine! Look what you've done to my buffers!" "Ugh, get over it, you sausage!" This made Gordon even more cross. "How dare you!" He puffed away indignantly. It took a while for help to arrive, but when it did, Duncan was placed onto a flatbed and taken home. When Duncan arrived, Peter Sam would not stop teasing him. "So, Duncan, how was it? Was your wish fulfilled? Did you see any of the big engines? Were they scared of you?" "Oh, shut up," said Duncan. Duncan soon toned out Peter Sam's talking and went to sleep. He never complained about being small again. Well, at least for a couple of days.